Hi, my name is Tayler Mulcahy.
And I'm Andrew McInnis. I'm from Sarasota, Florida.
And I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and we both attend Washington and Jefferson College, which is in Washington, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh. Today is the 6th of July, 2012, and we are currently at Ruku, Kausay, which is located in the Amazonian jungle part of Ecuador, and it is a branch of the World Dignity University. And we are currently here doing research on participatory action research. We both did individual projects while working together here. Mine in particular was to first view the people of the community's perspective on plants and how they're used differently throughout the culture, and also the perspectives of nature in their lives and the recently piloted ecotourism that's occurring here and how it's impacting their culture and in which ways.
Along with that, at the beginning of my trip, I was documenting the plants and their medicinal uses, which is very important to these people's way of life. For the second part of my trip, I was doing plant and tree densities, which will be used for long-term monitoring.
You should show them.
I also took samples of each leaf from each individual plant and tree that were in my test sites.
After we're done here, which we'll be summing up our trip pretty soon, I plan to use this project or this research that I've done here for two different things. First, when I return back to Washington Jefferson College in the fall, I'll be using this project we're kind of the first people to come here, so I'll be doing presentations throughout my college to get other students active in coming here and really seeing what this place is all about and what it has to offer everybody, not just environmental studies students or sociology or biology. There's really something here for everybody to learn. After that, I'm also using this project as a capstone study, which is similar to a dissertation or thesis for my major, both sociology and environmental science. For environmental science, I'll be focusing on the ecotourism and the impacts on the culture. But for sociology, I'm going to be talking about the whole new dynamics of doing participatory action research rather than researching on a culture. I believe it's very important for certain studies, in particular this one, to stay here and learn with the people rather than to watch them like ants from above. It really opens your eyes to a whole new perspective.
I'm looking forward to furthering my research and have future students come and research the specific sites again to see how the environment has changed, if the trees have grown, if certain trees have died, how this whole development of ecotourism will affect the forest.
Can you tell me about this density, how it will help to identify that?
What I did is I took a 5x5 square, and inside that square I calculated all the trees that were above 5 centimeters in diameter, how many there were. I'm going to calculate the densities, the frequencies, and see how well the forest is doing here compared to other primary forests.
And when the other students come and they go to your density place, what is going to happen?
They'll basically do exactly what I did, and we'll just see if there's been improvements or negative impacts. They'll just be measuring the same.
Perfect. Can you tell me more about the greenhouse?
Oh, and also, right now it wasn't possible, but in the spring, the native people here are going to be collecting seeds of some of the trees that are endangered or on the verge of going extinct, so that we can start growing them, and that way we can help reforest the jungle.
What about this with the water? What did you do with the water?
Do you want to talk about that?
No, you can.
We also took water samples from the local community's water system and we're just going to run tests on that to see how clean their water actually is.
We would like to thank you again for your wonderful work. Oh, one more question. What about dignity? What did you learn from that?
Before coming here, really, I never thought of the word as an important context to my life or things I was going to be involving my life in. But after coming here, I really realized that dignity is important, and it is probably the most important aspect of anything that I would like to do here. Dignity to me now has become allowing the community to develop in ways that they would like to, and making sure that there's a sustainable future in the path for their lives, and to preserve their way of living, like how they would like to preserve it, not how we view their preservation of their way of living.
My perspective on dignity is that I enjoyed the aspect that we got to come here and live with the people instead of directly doing research on them. I got to learn their way of life and learn what was truly important to them and what their perspectives are. So I got to see it a little bit more through their eyes.
Also, with this project, along with becoming aware of what dignity is to our life, the whole concept of awareness has really evolved. When you think of awareness, you think that just because you're doing something that you're aware that you're doing it, but in reality, you're not always aware just because you're partaking in some kind of activity. My awareness has really developed throughout this trip because when I first thought of coming here, I decided that I was going to come here because I wanted to help a community. And by doing that, I put myself as an outside force wanting to make a situation better. As I've evolved, as I've been here, I've realized that it's not an outside force that helps something evolve, it's something from within. So as I've been with this community for almost 5 weeks now, I've really become a part of it. And I've observed and learned everything I have by not sitting down and conducting interviews and asking them to fill out questionnaires. It's been by listening to them and partaking in what they partake in on a daily basis and really just evolving with them. And all the information that I originally wanted to learn that I had documented in my journal, I've learned by just observing. I really haven't had to ask anything like a questionnaire or an interview. I've just learned it by being here and being part of the process. It's really made me aware of my surroundings. And we've also developed our awareness kind of together because not being alone on this trip really made a difference because we were able to talk about what we thought about the end of the day, and we realized how, like, when we first came here we had certain biases, and by a couple weeks into the trip we talk about how we felt then and how we feel now. And it's really an amazing opportunity to not be surrounded by the constant globalization of TV and music and everything else. It's just, you're here with nature, and it's pretty much as pristine as you can get.
And thank you for your time, and if you'd like to take a look at Ruku Kausay, this is where we are right now.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Tayler.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we are here with the president of World Dignity University, and she is the one who suggested to have this video. And to close it, she's going to say thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome to this video.